Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ask the CEO with Avrohom. Today, I'd like to introduce a very special guest. He's the CEO of ezDI, a company that helps healthcare organizations unlock the power of their unstructured data and is revolutionizing the healthcare industry by extracting valuable information from unstructured text at a very high level of accuracy using their state-of-the-art natural language processing. As part of this discussion, we will share how their partnership with Microsoft, their use of Azure and the Azure Marketplace have empowered them to scale and grow their business. It is my pleasure to welcome Chetan Parikh. Welcome, Chetan.
Thank you very much, Avrohom. Nice to be connected during this COVID times virtually.
Yeah, exactly, right? Virtual right now is all we've got, and I'm so thankful for this technology.
Absolutely.
So talking about technology, Chetan, with the advent of the electronic health record system, also known as EHR, healthcare organizations officially entered the digital world. And with that new status comes a new set of challenges. It's one thing to collect data. It's another matter entirely to actually get useful information out of it. And in fact, according to a 2019 survey conducted by HIMSS Media One, 56% of healthcare businesses cited an inability to effectively manage unstructured data as a key obstacle. What are the challenges healthcare organizations face with regard to extracting actionable intelligence, which is trapped in the form of this unstructured raw data?
Well, Avrohom, that's a very good question. As a matter of fact, the way I see it is, what is the origin of the challenge? Where does it all start from? What is the extent of the problem, and why has it been difficult to solve this challenge? Even after we spending 19% of our GDP into healthcare. So I'll break it up into three parts. If you look at the entire healthcare ecosystem, the most important interaction that happens is when the physician meets with the patient, because that is where the physician is learning about what is going on with the patient, what is the history of the patient, what are the symptoms, and then the physician really understands and taps into his experience, his or her experience and knowledge, what could be going on. And this starts the entire journey of entire healthcare ecosystem. I call this the most critical activity in healthcare. And this data that is collected during this interaction, typically by the physician entering this information in an EHR, I call that the most critical information. Now, the problem starts from here. This data that is captured, most of the data, about 80%, according to UPMC survey, 80% of the data is still a narration. It's a text block. It's completely unstructured. So there's a wealth of information that resides in this data, and people are not able to utilize it to its fullest. And I'll get into the details of that. The second piece is there are many systems throughout the healthcare spectrum which is collecting data. You can have the lab system, you can have the prescription system, you can have the ERP system, and obviously the clinical systems. And these systems don't talk to each other. Mm-hmm. So that's the other problem that healthcare is facing, that data is siloed. Now take the problem a bit further, and if you look at the journey of a patient from a primary care physician to a specialist to a hospitalization, the data, the treatment the patient should get has to be continuous. There has to be understanding of what the patient has been through, but it is not, the data is not flowing, and even if it flows, it is not interoperable. So one system is not able to understand the other system. So you can imagine huge amount of valuable data is not getting to the right people at the right time. That is where I see the problem is. Now you look at the extent. It is not just limited to a clinic or a physician office or a hospital. The same data needs to be understood by the physician, the staff of the physician, the billing department, the quality department, all of this inside the provider side. The same data needs to be utilized by the payer to make sure they are paying for the right problem and the right procedures. And the same data has to be looked at by the pharma to see if their medications that they are the physicians are prescribing are effective enough. So you can see that the data that we want to utilize is used through the entire ecosystem of healthcare. That is the extent of the problem. Why has it been difficult to solve this? Because each person working on this data to extract information has a different viewpoint, a different requirement. And so different teams of people are reading this data, extracting it, and then putting the data back. Now imagine if there was a system which can read all the data, extract all the information to all the parties of interest, and just give them the insights on the data, that would be phenomenal. So the problem is we have data in healthcare, we are data rich, but knowledge poor. And technology and AI, I believe, are going to be able to solve this problem.
It's so true how everything is siloed. I mean, it's like that in every industry, but for sure, healthcare, it's an even bigger problem.
Right. Why has it been difficult to develop such technologies? Because if you look at all the players I mentioned, hospitals or provider, the payer, which is the insurance company or the pharma, their focus is not technology. Their focus is to deliver the right solution or the right treatment to the patient or the right amount to the physician and the hospitals or the right medications to the patient. They are not focused on developing technologies that can understand the data. And developing technologies is not an easy task. You require a huge amount of data and then a lot of computation power and smart engineers to develop. So there's a lot of investment that goes into developing this technology, which we have been doing since 2010.
Let's talk a little bit about that. ezDI recently launched a new offering on the Azure Marketplace targeting healthcare organizations called NLP as a Service. Can you share with us some information about this solution and how it will help healthcare organizations extract that useful information out of their unstructured and siloed data?
Fantastic. So again, about in 2009, 2010, we saw that there was humongous amount of data that was being generated every day. However, the utilization was not there because there were no technologies to understand this data at scale. As human beings, we can comprehend and understand data, but not retain it and recall it after a long period of time. And if we are given a large amount of data, then we would not be able to find the patterns and remember everything. A computer can retain the information, analyze the information, but cannot comprehend it. So if we can make computers understand the data, truly understand like a human being can, now you have hit a gold mine, because now you can unleash all the power and insights in that data and surface it to the right person at the right time so that they can save a life. And that is exactly the passion with which and the determination with which we started our journey of developing our NLP. So we took a huge amount of unstructured clinical data with the permission of our customers, and we started to develop technologies. The first technology we developed are NLP parsers, which understands the grammatical structure of unstructured data.
What is NLP, by the way, for those that don't
NLP
know?
stands for natural language processing. So as a human being, we are able to understand language. As we are talking, you are able to understand my language. How do we make the computer understand when it is only looking at zeros and ones? And that technology, that set of algorithms, that pipeline to understand the sentence, the phrase, the word, the meaning of that word, the grammatical structure of that sentence is known as natural language processing. Now you take this and augment it using very deep knowledge graph. Knowledge graph is the background knowledge. So when I tell Abraham that, Abraham, how is the situation in New York? You immediately understand that I'm talking about a recent event or recent happenings of COVID-19. you have that background knowledge. A computer does not have it. So we need to build those knowledge bases for the computer to be able to understand the contextual meaning of a sentence or a paragraph or a phrase. And that is what we have been working on. Now, with that technology, we are opening it up so that others in the world, pharma companies, payers, other providers, other IT companies, which have a large set of unstructured data, they can send it to us and we can give them the insights from that data that is important to them. At the base level, we identify all the terms within that documentation or millions of documents, and we can tag it accurately as whether it's a medication, whether it's a dosage, whether it's an anatomical structure, whether it's a disease, whether it's a procedure. So those are known as named entity recognition, and we can output that in a standardized nomenclature of SNOMED CT. So other systems can start to understand it. Our core is we are able to understand large amount of unstructured clinical data with high accuracy and speed.
Gotcha. And that's really how you bridge those silos between providers, payers, and pharma.
There's one more technology where Azure has done a magnificent job, is to standardize this into FHIR standards. So FHIR is a standard from HL7, and Azure has put APIs together so any kind of unstructured data can become standardized. So if you want to move it across silos from, say, provider to pharma to payer, in that case, these kind of APIs can do a bang job. We too are FHIR compliant, so our output can take care of this and help move the data from one to the other.
Wonderful. So talking about Azure, how would a healthcare organization use your solution with Azure?
That's a very good question, because of all the cloud that we have been exposed to and working with, I think Azure has built a beautiful infrastructure both to support their partner networks and technology providers like us, as well as all the tools they have built into their cloud. So it makes a company like us publish their offering very easy, not only for us to publish, but for the users to consume it. So we have put it on Azure Marketplace, where any company which is interested in utilizing our technology, the NLP technology, can have a very simple API call. And as soon as they make the call, they can either push the data or we can pull the data from their storage. The data can be in any format. It can be in a text blob, it can be a PDF, it can be a TIFF file, does not matter, or it can be a FHIR object, means it is a standardized healthcare document. We can collect it, put it through our pipeline, and then parse it and return it back in a FHIR or a standard JSON that the user can now ingest in their database and then take it for further processing to power their applications or analytics or business intelligence applications.
That really simplifies things.
True. And that is the beauty of Azure. They have done a beautiful job, and their team is continuously working with us, both the technical team as well as the business team, to help us prepare, position our offering so it becomes easy for the customer, our common customers, to be able to seamlessly consume it.
And how can customers find out more about the ezDI offering and procure it through the Azure Marketplace?
It's very easy. If they go to Azure Marketplace and just type in the search bar Azure Marketplace and type in ezDI or NLP, they should be able to find us. If the customer wants to learn a lot more about our other offerings as well as get deeper into the use cases we have solved, they can visit our website at www.ezdI.com/Azure. We have built a special landing page for Azure customers to learn all the details about our APIs.
Great. Chetan, how has partnering with Microsoft helped ezDI scale and grow your business?
I think Microsoft is a very mature company when it comes to supporting their partners. When we started our journey, we had no clue how to become a partner on Microsoft Azure, how to position our product, how to bring it to life. David Holding and his team have done a phenomenal job in hand holding and helping us right from the different things we will have to do, what are the kind of offerings would make best sense for their customers, including how to package it. And they pull in the technical people from Microsoft to help us with that. So it has been a beautiful partnership with Microsoft.
And how can people find out more about Microsoft partnership opportunities for healthcare partners?
So I think the theme of making it easy for the customer still continues with Microsoft. Again, you go to Google and just type in the search bar, Microsoft Partner Network. You can do that. Or you can also reach out to them via their email, which is very simple. It is HealthcareIndExp, all one word, at Microsoft.com. You'll get a reply very quickly, and the entire support mechanism comes to play at that point of time.
And how do people connect with you?
Same thing, very easy. They can find us on Microsoft Azure Marketplace. On the search bar, typing ezDI or NLP will pop up right away, will be at the top of the list. Or they can visit us on our website, as I mentioned, www.ezdi.com/Azure. They can drop us an email, sales@ezdi.com, or call us on our toll-free number, which is 866-473-5655.
Chetan, do you have any parting words of wisdom that you'd like to share with the audience?
Yes, I think since 2010, since I started this journey in the AI side, I have experienced that healthcare is very sluggish in its adoption of technology, and particularly when it comes to advanced technology. And I believe that they have been used to not take any risks because they were getting paid for whatever services they were providing. However, the world is changing very rapidly. The US model of healthcare is also changing, and technology is evolving. So for healthcare, my parting words of wisdom are, there are many, many, many players out there who can deliver the solution you are looking for very rapidly. Embrace them, give them the opportunity. And with Microsoft as a partner, as a common place where the healthcare ecosystem can meet with various vendors, creates that sense of trust, because Microsoft does a lot of vetting out of who they bring on as their partner and advance the partner. The second thing for smaller companies, guys, look into the problems that are affecting two main areas in healthcare. One is lives and patient care, most important. And the second is skyrocketing costs. If you can solve one of those, preferably both of those, you don't need to worry. Healthcare is going to adopt technology. So go and live your dream.
What a great way to end this off. Chetan, thank you so much for sharing your time and your wisdom. I really enjoyed having you on the show.
Thank you so very much, Avrohom.